手術したような体の縫い目、死んだ魚のようなうつろな目、これが子供心をくすぐるんですよ。でもな。
Don't do it.
パパ
Don't do it, Kotetsu.
チ
Trick.
ャンスですよ。
Don't do it. Don't.
買います。
Dang it, Kotetsu. Why? If random people around the world were suddenly born with superpowers, what do you think would happen? Realistically, they could destroy the world. They could all be captured and detained for research and questioning. They could also be imprisoned or killed for simply being too dangerous to leave alone, but maybe that's a little too extreme. Instead, why don't we just raise a bunch of superheroes, slap advertising all over their suits, and then make a TV program centered on them fighting crime? Yeah, that sounds about right. Enter the world of Tiger and Bunny, where being a superhero isn't about saving the world, it's serious business. By rushing to the scene of a crime, saving people, and capturing criminals, you gain hero points. If by the end of the year you have the most, then you become King of Heroes! And of course, all the heroes want to be King of Heroes, with the exception of one old-fashioned Kaburagi T Kotetsu, or Wild Tiger. Our main character who believes in justice and the ethical values of being a hero. A hero should always do whatever it takes to do the right thing. That is, until you become horribly unpopular and don't make your sponsors any money. That's when the superhero, Wild Tiger, gets sold to another company who decides to partner him up with a new hero as a gimmick for popularity. So let's see here. We've got a goofy, somewhat incompetent, middle-aged main character. We might as well partner him with a serious, talented, young, and attractive new hero, because that makes sense. But I mean, hey, maybe they'll get along. Bottom line, they hate each other, but they gotta work together for the sake of the company. Sounds like some cheesy sitcom, but please, bear with me. So, even if it's a competition to be the best hero, and the premise is a little cheesy, the show is still about heroes. All the heroes are next, which pretty much just means they have superpowers. Everyone loves cool superpowers, right? Well, in Tiger and Bunny, the powers are often pretty generic. Super strength, wind, electricity, ice, fire, you know, that kind of thing. Still, you don't need super creative powers to be a good hero. Speaking of which, that's one of the main points in this show, what it means to be a hero. A pretty staple idea for the superhero genre. As I mentioned before, Kotetsu is a very idealistic hero. It's about doing what's right and protecting the people at any cost. Those costs of which have to be paid by the sponsoring companies. Repairs to the city ain't cheap, folks. In contrast, we have Barnaby Brooks Jr., who believes that being a hero is just as advertised on TV, keeping the sponsors happy and earning as many points as possible. To add to that, Barnaby's parents were killed in front of him when he was a child, and so he's become a hero to seek revenge on a murderer he can't remember. So yeah, he's Batman. Tiger and Bunny isn't that revolutionary in the hero universe. The powers lack creativity, the crimes and dramatic events are nothing all that new, and the struggles of being a hero are still there as well. That may seem like a bunch of negative points, but what does make Tiger and Bunny stand out though is what truly makes it different. Being a hero to these characters isn't just for justice or for the sake of protecting the people. This is their job. This is how they make money and maintain their lives, and that plays a huge role. They might not feel like they're cut out for the job. They might be in danger of getting fired for doing poorly, and they might not even want to be a hero in the first place. This fact is constantly emphasized by the advertising, the producers trying to make things more exciting by telling the heroes exactly what to do, and things like catchphrases that show up practically every episode. It's this point that I think makes Tiger and Bunny worth watching. The show is more about the lives and struggles of the characters, not just as heroes, but also as human beings. We see this mainly in Kotetsu, a man who is living his lifelong dream of being a hero. Even though he's living that dream, he's called into work practically every day and has no time to watch his daughter grow up. The unfortunate contrast to this is that while he makes a great foil for Kotetsu, Barnaby's character is bland and doesn't develop nearly as well. He does bring a lot of story elements to the table though, so it's somewhat forgiven. So what about action? It is a hero anime, so there's gotta be a lot of action. And there is quite a bit of it. But unlike in most anime, fight scenes don't take several episodes, or even a third of the episode sometimes. They're pretty well done though to compensate, minus the fact that some of the fights don't make any sense. The animation and soundtrack for Tiger and Bunny are excellent in that they make it really feel like that mix between anime and American comic book heroes. During action scenes, there's some CGI that goes on that can be a bit jarring to those who are not fond of it, but it works well in my opinion since it's not overdone and only used for heroes and villains in suits. Tiger and Bunny may not be the most exciting action anime out there, but it emphasizes relationships and real-life values and does a good job with it. It deals with love, justice, and a 9-year-old daughter who likes Barnaby because she has no taste and hates her dad because he's never around for her and he won't tell her he's a hero to protect her, and just tell her already! Ah, well. At least he has Barnaby. Fujoshi's ate up that pairing like ice cream. If you're looking for an anime for the action and adventure, you may want to look elsewhere. However, if you want a somewhat actiony anime with good characters and a simple story, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised by Tiger and Bunny. I know I was. 5 points to start, +2 for enjoyment, -1 for generic powers and fights, +1 for looking deep into the lives of the heroes, +1 for the feel from the animation and sound, +1 for an excellent main character in Kotetsu, -1 for a meh secondary character in Barnaby. Final score, 8 out of 10 youth points.